In this video, I'm going to give you 2 points of sports betting advice from a sports betting professional, and I will also be giving you 2 Major League Baseball free plays for today. It's Friday, June 14th, and I'm Tokyo Brandon, WagerTalk's #1 all sports profit capper in 2024, 2022, and 2021. #1 3 of the last 4 years at WagerTalk. Currently in 2024, I am #1 in Major League Baseball profit, plus 115%, doubling the bankroll since the start of the Major League Baseball season. Before this video is over, click the like and subscribe, show WagerTalk that you like the content that I'm making, and show WagerTalk that you like me as well. Hitting that like and subscribe button will help us cappers bring you more free plays and more free winners. Click this link below to get my 4% MLB best bet today for just $5 for Customer Appreciation Day. That 4% best bet is in the Yankees-Red Sox game, so you still have time to get it. With no further ado, let's get to the 3 points of this video. MLB free play #1 is in the White Sox at Diamondbacks game. Chris, don't you be flexing on me, takes the mound for the White Sox, and Ryne will take the mound for the Diamondbacks. As I've said in videos before, I used to be a Major League Baseball scout, so I like my analysis to be more one-on-one matchups rather than sides and totals. With sides and totals, it's very team-oriented, and it's much more difficult to predict how a team is going to perform rather than how one individual is going to perform. So with my scouting background, I much prefer individual pitcher props and hitter props. With Chris Flexen today, his outs recorded prop is 15.5. Outs recorded is a very simple calculation. You take the number of outs and divide by 3. That gives you how many innings. In other words, 15 outs divided by 3 is 5 innings. 15.5 over under is, will Chris Flexen record an out in the 6th inning? Yes or no? When I do an analysis on outs recorded, the first thing I look at is how the pitcher pitches and how deep he generally goes into games. I take his average innings pitched and I make a percentage out of it. I put those in an algorithm and multiply by how deep the pitcher goes into the game, and it gives me an outs recorded projection. Chris Flexen generally goes about 53% into the games. He's not a very deep pitcher. His history against the Diamondbacks is somewhat limited. He only has 12 at-bats against them, but for the most part, they've crushed him quite a bit. Looking at his last 10 starts, he's only gone into the 6th inning 1 time, and that was against the Tampa Bay Rays. Considering current form, I have the Diamondbacks hitting #9 out of 30 teams in Major League Baseball, much better than the Tampa Bay Rays. Flexen has not recorded an out in the 6th inning for 6 straight starts, and he generally comes out of the game before throwing 90 pitches. And it's not because he's getting shelled in the games. He's only given up 2 or less runs earned in his last 3 starts, and still he comes out before 90 pitches. So for this outs prop, I project Chris Flexen at 13.7 outs, and given all the backup data that I just stated, I find it highly unlikely he's going to record an out in the 6th inning. So Chris Flexen under 15.5 outs recorded is the first free play for this video. Free play #2 also happens to be in this same game, the Chicago White Sox at the Arizona Diamondbacks. For this one, I'm going to be taking a look at Ryne's strikeout prop. Currently, the book has Ryne's strikeout prop at 4.5 over under. When I cap pitcher strikeout props, the first thing I look at is the pitcher's K/9 rate and the lineup's K/9 rate. I don't look at the pitcher's career or the entire season, but I use an algorithm where I combine the whole season, the last 30 days, and his last 4 starts, and I apply a percentage to each one of those, and I come up with a number. The strikeout per 9 number that I have for Ryne is 4.65 strikeouts per 9 innings. Taking a look at the White Sox batters in the last 10 days, they strike out 9.9 per 9 innings. If we take these two numbers and multiply them by how deep Ryne Nelson generally goes into games, I get a number projection for the strikeouts for that pitcher. My projection for Ryne Nelson in this game is 4.07. It's not a huge diversion from the book 4.5, but if you think about it, to get to over 4.5, Ryne Nelson has to throw 5 strikeouts. If he's recording under 5 per 9 innings, and the White Sox strikeout rate is right around 9 per 9 innings, you would think Ryne Nelson would have to throw about 8 innings to get to 5 strikeouts here. Looking at Ryne Nelson's history against White Sox batters, it's not a big sample size. It's only 10 at-bats, but he has 0 strikeouts in those at-bats. Looking back at Ryne Nelson's recent starts, in his last 8 starts, he's only struck out 5 guys 1 time. That was against the Dodgers, where every starting pitcher gets pumped to have his best game against one of the best teams in Major League Baseball, and the Dodgers strike out at a pretty high rate. More recently, in his last 3 starts, he's only struck out 3 batters in 1 start and 1 batter in 2 starts. That's really low, and I think the bookmakers have to make this strikeout total pretty high because the Diamondbacks are going to be big favorites against the White Sox today. Sometimes the books have to put out just ridiculous numbers to get people to bet it, and to me this looks like one of those ridiculous numbers. 2 starts ago against San Francisco, he did pitch into the 8th inning, but he only struck out 1 batter in almost 8 full innings pitched. I'm not betting the farm on it, but I am putting a 1% play on Ryne Nelson's under 4.5 strikeouts recorded. I want to talk about 2 points about sports betting. The first point about sports betting is to be transparent and to be honest. I'm a professional capper, but I'll be honest, the last 3 days have been pretty brutal. I'm still number 1 in profit at WagerTalk. You have to be brutally honest with yourself, and when you're in a losing streak, don't chase. Just sit back and relax and trust the process and bet smaller units. I'm a transparent guy. I'm guilty of chasing, and I'm guilty of trying to bet more units to get my losses back. That's a one-way ticket to ruins. At times like that, put the sports betting away for a minute, reflect on where you're at, and reflect on how good life is. Like I said, I'm a professional and I'm guilty of this too. It's really hard to do, but you've got to do it to be successful in the long-term sports betting. The second sports betting tip I want to give you is to avoid a particular sucker bet that a lot of people like to make. I realize chicks dig the long ball and dudes like betting on the long ball, but betting home run props is not profitable in the long run because the books put terrible odds on them. Case in point, Shohei Ohtani is arguably one of the best hitters in Major League Baseball right now. Ohtani hits about 1 home run every 17 at-bats. That averages out to a little more than 1 home run every 4 games. If the law of averages says he's going to hit 1 home run every 4 games, you should be getting 4 times your money to bet an Ohtani home run. That's plus 400 for the best hitter in Major League Baseball. The only time I would bet a home run prop is if I get plus 600 or better. I always like to say the difference between sports betting and blackjack is in blackjack you have to play the hand that's dealt to you, but in sports betting we have so many options we can refuse one hand and play the other hand. These home run props, anything under 400 is a sucker bet, and in the long run it's gonna suck your bankroll. If you like the content I'm bringing you, again, let WagerTalk know that you like me. Hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more great free content. I'm number 1 in profit at WagerTalk 3 of the last 4 years, including 2024, and in 2024 I'm WagerTalk's number 1 Major League Baseball profit capper. I have a 4% best bet out in Major League Baseball today in the Yankees-Red Sox game. Go to this link below and get that 4% best bet. As I always say, I don't have streaks, I have seasons. That's the video today, and I'll be back with more.
No. You insulted him a little bit. You got a little out of order yourself.
No, I didn't insult him. I didn't insult him.
Insulted him a little bit.